The rain poured down like a curtain of tears. Under a broken umbrella, a boy with torn clothes knelt on wet concrete, solving equations that would make most professors sweat. A black limousine pulled up beside him. The window rolled down slowly. What the billionaire inside saw made him freeze. This was impossible. 3 days earlier, Michael Chin sat in his mansion, staring at his daughter's math homework. Emma was brilliant, but this problem had stumped them both for hours. It was an advanced calculus equation from her private tutor, one meant to challenge the best students in the country. "Dad, I can't do it," Emma whispered, tears forming in her eyes. "Mr. Peterson said if I don't solve it by Monday, I'll fail the semester." Michael's heart broke. He'd built a tech empire worth billions, but he couldn't help his own daughter. Before we continue this incredible story, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happens next will change everything you think you know about success and destiny. Saturday morning arrived cold and gray. Michael drove Emma to her ballet class downtown. Traffic forced them to take a different route through the old part of the city, a place Michael usually avoided. That's when Emma saw him. "Dad, stop the car." Under a tattered awning, a boy sat on cardboard, rain dripping around him. He looked about 14, maybe 15. His clothes were 3 sizes too big. But what caught Emma's attention wasn't his appearance. It was the notebook. He was writing equations. Complex ones. His fingers moved across the page like a musician playing an invisible piano. "Dad, please. Just 2 minutes." Michael hesitated, but something in his daughter's voice made him pull over. Emma grabbed her math homework and ran through the rain. Michael followed, his expensive shoes splashing through puddles. "Excuse me," Emma said softly. The boy looked up. His eyes were dark and tired, but there was something else there, a spark of intelligence that seemed to glow from within. "Can you help me?" Emma held out her homework, her hands trembling. The boy stared at the paper. For 10 seconds, he said nothing. Then he pulled out a stub of pencil from his pocket. "May I?" Emma nodded. What happened next made Michael's jaw drop. The boy's hand moved across the page. Numbers flowed like water. Symbols connected in patterns Michael had never seen. In less than 2 minutes, the boy had solved the problem and written 3 different solutions. "The third way is simplest," the boy said quietly. "Your teacher probably expects the first method, but this one shows you understand the why, not just the how." Emma's eyes went wide. "How did you?" "I like numbers," the boy said, handing back the paper. "They make sense. They don't lie." Michael stepped forward, his mind racing. "What's your name, son?" "David." "David, where did you learn to do that?" The boy looked away. "Books. The library lets me stay sometimes." Before they close, Michael glanced at the notebook beside David. The pages were filled with equations, theorems, proofs, work that belonged in a university, not on a street corner. "How long have you been out here?" 2 years. Since my mom got sick." Something twisted in Michael's chest. "And your father?" "Gone. Before I was born." Emma knelt down beside David. "Do you go to school?" David shook his head. "Not anymore. Can't afford it." Michael made a decision that would change for lives forever. "Come with us." David's head snapped up. "What? You heard me. Come with us. Have breakfast. Get warm. And then we talk about your future." David stood slowly, suspicion and hope fighting in his eyes. "Why would you help me?" "Because someone should have helped you a long time ago," Michael said. "And because I have a feeling you're going to help me understand something I've been missing." If you're loving this story so far, smash that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this unfolds. At the mansion, David stood in the marble hallway, dripping rain onto the floor. "Martha," Michael called to his housekeeper, "please bring some of Emma's brother's old clothes and prepare the guest room." Over breakfast, Michael watched David eat slowly, carefully, like someone who'd learned not to waste a single crumb. Emma sat beside him, asking questions about math, about numbers, about how he saw the world. "It's like music," David explained. "Every equation tells a story. Every problem is a door. You just have to find the right key." Michael leaned forward. "David, I want to offer you something. A chance. I'll pay for your schooling. Any school you want. But first, I need to understand. Just how good are you?" David set down his fork. "What do you mean?" Michael pulled out his phone and opened an email. "I have a problem. My company is developing new AI technology. We've been stuck on an algorithm for 6 months. The best engineers in the world can't crack it." He showed David the screen. David studied it for 30 seconds. His eyes moved back and forth. Then he spoke. "You're approaching it backwards. The algorithm doesn't need to be faster. It needs to be simpler. Look, if you reduce this section here and here, then mirror the pattern on the third sequence." Michael grabbed a pen. For 20 minutes, David talked. Michael wrote furiously, his hands shaking. When David finished, Michael stared at the paper. This could work. This could actually work. He looked up at the homeless boy who'd just solved a $1 million problem before finishing his breakfast. "Who are you, really?" David smiled sadly. "Just someone who loves numbers. And someone who needed help." 1 week later, David started at the city's top private school. Michael paid for everything: tuition, books, clothes, a small apartment near campus. He even hired a tutor to help David catch up on what he'd missed. But David didn't need catching up. Within 2 weeks, he was at the top of every class. Within a month, he was tutoring other students. Within 3 months, he'd published a paper that caught the attention of universities across the country. Michael's company implemented David's algorithm. It worked perfectly. The technology launched successfully, earning the company hundreds of millions. Emma and David became close friends. She'd visit him after school, and they'd work on problems together. Though now it was David teaching Emma advanced concepts that even her expensive tutors didn't know. One evening, Michael sat with David in his study. "I need to know something," Michael said. "Why were you on that street corner? A mind like yours. You could have gotten scholarships, programs, help." David's face grew dark. "I tried. My mom got cancer when I was 12. I had to drop out to take care of her. We lost our apartment. By the time she passed, I had no records, no home address, no way to prove who I was. No school would take me. No program would help a kid with no documentation." "The system failed you," Michael whispered. "The system fails a lot of people," David said quietly. "I was just one of many. The difference is, Emma saw me. You stopped. Most people never even looked." Michael felt tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry," David said, standing up. "Use what happened. You have money, power, influence. How many other kids are out there like me? Brilliant minds sleeping under bridges because no one gave them a chance." 6 months later, Michael Chin stood at a podium before a crowd of journalists and philanthropists. "Today, I'm announcing the Second Chance Education Fund. $100 million to find and support homeless youth with academic potential. We'll provide housing, education, mentorship, and most importantly, a chance." The crowd erupted in applause. Beside him stood David, now 17, clean-cut and confident, wearing a school uniform with pride. And Emma, holding a folder filled with applications from kids just like David. Kids who'd been invisible until someone finally chose to see them. "This boy changed my life," Michael said, his voice thick with emotion. "He taught me that genius doesn't live in mansions. Potential doesn't wait in comfortable places. And sometimes, the person who can change the world is the same person we walk past every single day without noticing." David stepped up to the microphone. "I was lucky," he said. "Emma and her father saved me. But luck shouldn't be required. Compassion should. Attention should. Humanity should. Every person you pass on the street is someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's everything. They're not invisible. We just choose not to see them." He paused, looking out at the crowd. "Today, we choose differently." 3 years later, David graduated top of his class from MIT. He now runs a nonprofit that has helped over 3,000 homeless youth find education and opportunity. Emma followed in his footsteps, studying social work and education policy. And Michael? He learned the most important lesson of his life. Not from a business rival or a mentor, but from a boy on a street corner who solved more than just a math equation. He solved the equation of human value. Because sometimes, the most important calculations aren't done with numbers. They're done with hearts. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that prove compassion changes everything. And remember, the next time you pass someone in need, you might be walking past your greatest teacher. See you in the next story.